is my everyday makeup look that I'll wear if I'm going to something special. So not going shopping, not going to the beach, not just hanging out. This is if I'm going to a meeting or somewhere I want to look a little bit more presentable and a little bit more done up. So I hope you like it. Okay, I'm going to start with my L'Oreal Lumi Magique Primer. This is really good because it makes your skin glowy and dewy, which is what we like. Just apply all over my face. Then I'm going to use my Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum. So it's beautiful foundation. It goes really well with the primer. I'm just going to start on my head. I'm using a brush here by Sigma. So it's called Flat Kabuki and it's F80. Really like this brush, feels really good. And it's blending it really well as well. Wait. Okay, now I'm ready. So I'm using a Nars concealer. It's in Radiant Creamy Concealer. That's not the colour, that's the name of it. And on the end, it is ginger. So it's medium 2 in ginger. I'm gonna pop this under my eyes to cover up these dark circles. And on my eyelid as well. And then a little bit more down the sides of my nose and chin. My little beauty blender. So it's a little one that's really good because it gets in all the areas that are hard to get to. And I just dab it on rather than pushing it off, otherwise it just pushes it around and you end up with no concealer left. Once that is done, we're going to move on to a powder. So I'm just dabbing it on. On your T-zone, I always feel like I need a little bit more of this powder. It just sets the foundation nicely and stops me getting too oily down that T-zone area. It's a contour kit in medium to tan, and it's by Anastasia. So I'm using this colour here. So I'm just going to shake a little bit off and dab a little bit on the back of my hand just to make sure I'm not going to use too much. And then suck my cheeks in, like that. So I know where to put the bronzer, the contouring powder. Just little short circles, and then you can just drag it down. The reason I don't go straight into dragging it down like that is you can end up with a big line and you don't want that. You want it to be all nice and natural looking. So you're just darkening that area underneath the cheekbone, and then going around the top of your face, of your forehead. And because I've got a big head, I want to try and cover a bit of it, make a bit of it look a bit smaller. And then along my jawbone and neck. And then if you want to, you can use a little bit down the sides of your nose just to define it a little bit. So I usually squeeze the brush like that, and then you can just get down the sides. Now you only want to use a tiny little bit of product here, you don't want too much bronzer. And don't worry if a bit too much comes out, you can always get your other powder brush and just blend it in. Okay, I'm going to use my blush now. So I've got my Real Techniques blush brush, and I'm using CORALista by Benefit. Little circular motions like this. If it makes it easy, you can smile while you're doing it and you can see where to put it. Nice and blushed now. Blushed and flushed. Okay, I'm going to move on to my eyes now. So I'm using Revlon ColorStay in a brown colour, and just short little movements along your lower lash line, just slightly underneath where my lashes sit. So I just turn and look like this so you're not going to get it on your eye. Just get on that inner part. Try not to poke your eye. So I've got my Morphe 35N palette here. So I'm going to start with a lighter colour. So I'm going to start with this one here. Can you see that? So I'm just going to put this on the centre of my eyelid here. Get enough on the brush so that it comes out. So these are all matte colours, so I love them. It's really good to wear in the day. And do your first layer of eyeshadows. And then you can put a little bit of shimmer on top too, but it's just really good to work with because you're not layering shimmers on shimmers. I'm staying in the centre part of my eye here. I always work back and forth from eye to eye. Just make sure I get them both the same. I'm just going to bring it in my inner eye a little bit. So I'm going to use another Sigma brush. It's medium angled shading, E70. I'm going to try this coral colour here. So I'm going to do the outer part into the centre. Bring along the crease too. I just like to keep that a little bit darker. is to start with less and then add more as well. Dabbing it on like this too can help get that product on there, so it keeps the eyeshadow a bit thicker rather than rubbing it off. I'm going to try this colour, and then on the outer part of my eye. So I'm using a Sigma eye shading brush in E55. Going along the crease, bring it out a little bit, but not, I don't want to bring it up or bring it up to like a wing or anything. I just want to keep it all in here. This is another Sigma brush, and it's in tapered blending E40. So it's all fluffy on the end, which is really good because it blends your eyeshadow really well. Just so you don't get that harsh line. It's really easy, you just run it back and forth in the crease of your eye. Okay, I'm going to grab my concealer brush from Sigma in F70, and this is the colour I'm using by Chi Chi. So it's called Beautiful Day. Ah, lovely. It's a shimmer. It's a really beautiful, I guess it's a champagne colour. Place it in the centre of my eye. My eyelid. Don't put it on your eye. I'm going to place it in the middle part of my eye here, and it just sort of wakes you up a bit. And then I'm going to get a little bit more and put it on my brow bone to highlight. And sometimes I'll just run it down the centre of my nose and even get a little bit, just put it here. I'm going to use this Sigma brush in small angle E65. The colour I used on my eyelid, so it's this one here. And all you're doing is just dabbing it on, so you don't want to be moving it around like this because you get droppage and it gets a bit messy. You're just placing the eyeshadow on. I'm going to use this colour here. The wrong colour. That looked funny, one eye one colour, the other another colour. And then I'm just going to use this colour here, just a tiny little bit, just this outer corner, just to give it a little bit of definition. So see how I'm working back and forth from eye to eye. Just make sure that's blended properly. I'm going to do my eyebrows. So I'm just going to use a gel. It's called Brow Artist Plumper by Loreal. It's got a bit of colour in it too, which is good. And it's going to keep your eyebrows in place. So just brushing the brow hairs up and over. This is really good too if you're a bit scared to use an eyebrow pencil or a gel or a powder. You can start with this. So sort of work your way into it. It's mascara time. I'm using They're Real by Benefit. Yes, they are real. And I kind of twist it on. So you're grabbing the hairs, grabbing your eyelashes I should say, and then twisting it up. Just helps pick them all up. And then I go from the bottom up. So I'm getting it right at the base, kind of blinking onto it, and pushing up. And I always see the angle that I'm at, so I'm not like this, I'm looking down. You can see properly. And then your eyelashes aren't going to touch your brow bone. Sometimes the mascara has a bit of trouble getting on your eyelashes, so just moving the wand back and forth helps. My outer eyelashes always have trouble getting the mascara on, so I usually have to work that a bit and tilt my head all different angles, hey, whatever it takes. So I won't put the wand back in because I don't want to get too much of the mascara on, because the bottom lashes seem to grab a lot of mascara really easily and it gets really clumpy. So you can sort of touch it on your eyelashes. If it's not coming out enough, then you can move it back and forth. So you kind of give yourself a bit of a glare to the mirror and it helps your eyelashes stick out when you're putting them on. This is what I find anyway. So these are Apocalips. Nice name. It's in Lip Velvet and it's a matte colour too. I love this colour. So starting in the middle and then working out. I can't talk while I'm doing this. And just press them together. Make that noise too. A lot of people forget these parts here. So to help, you can go. Final step is spritzing my face with my makeup setting spray. It's called All Nighter Urban Decay. And always put that on like not too close, otherwise it's probably gonna wreck your makeup. And that's my day look. I hope you like it. What's this? Techniques, Real Techniques. I'll start this again. I can't see it. My Sigma, no, not my concealer brush, that's the wrong one. Lumi Magique primer. The Lumi Magique, put in the comments box below what look you'd like to see next. See you next time.